Now look, I know this is a sponsored video and all, and thank you to THQ Nordic for the sponsorship by the way, but even if it wasn't, I can guarantee you that I'd still think that Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed has some of the best weapons I have ever seen in a video game. Honestly, if you love spreading chaos and catastrophe as much as I do, this game really is the whole package, pun most definitely intended. But which weapons from Crypto's arsenal were my absolute favourites, you might be wondering? Well, join me, Eurogamer's Ian Higton, for Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed's 15 wackiest weapons ranked. Oh my god, who knew alliteration could be so dangerous? Okay, first up we have the saucer-mounted anti-gravity field weapon, and while it's at the bottom of my rankings, don't get me wrong, it's still a lot of fun to use. The anti-gravity field creates a column of anti-gravity on the ground, which acts like one of those alien abduction beams you might have seen in the movies, except for at the top of this beam there's no probings, only death. As a tool for destruction, the anti-gravity field is quite limited due to its static nature, but it can be useful for dealing with tight crowds of enemy vehicles, as a fully upgraded field will suck them up and spit them out at the top, smashing them into the floor and hopefully into other enemies too. This one is definitely fun to watch, but not as deadly as many of the others that follow on this list. Next up we have the Free Love Visor, which technically isn't a weapon as it's one of Crypto's special abilities, and it also doesn't kill people either, so if that's the case, what is it even doing on this list? Well, truth be told, it's just here because I love the psychedelic visuals that kick off once enough people are caught in its power. You see, Free Love basically starts a massive dance party that's so groovy, even the vehicles can't help but get in on the action. So what's Free Love for then, apart from a damn good time of course? Well, it's to hold the humans in place for easier, undetected body snatches. But who's got time for that when there's all this free love about? Party on, Crypto! As you can see, the Sonic Boom here is another saucer-mounted weapon, and this one is a literal blast to use. The Sonic Boom is a returning weapon from the first game, and it allows Crypto to fire multiple sonic blasts at all those pesky humans below him. Unfortunately, as you can see here, the Sonic Boom weapon isn't as powerful as it once was, and even with full upgrades, it still takes a fair few blasts to level a building. Sonic Boom really is more of a crowd control weapon if anything, and because it delivers damage in a small radius, it's great for taking out tightly grouped pockets of resistance. My favourite thing to do when using Sonic Boom though is to aim just off centre of the cars and humans to see just how far or high those blast waves will carry them. Just like the Free Love Visor, Crypto's Extract ability isn't technically a weapon, but unlike the Free Love Visor, this one most definitely kills people. By pressing the Extract button whilst aiming at a human, you can liberate their brains from their head-mounted bony prison with a very satisfying pop.
Little green American city.
The faster you mash the Extract button, the faster those brains will come shooting out too. And you know what the adverts say, once you pop, you just can't stop. The Disintegrator Ray here will be familiar to anyone who's played the original Destroy All Humans, as it fires globs of molten plasma that burn the target's flesh clean off their body before their skeleton crumbles into dust. It's not just humans that the Disintegrator Ray is good at destroying though. A fully upgraded Ray can do untold amounts of damage to enemy vehicles, turrets and even mechs too. In terms of alien guns, this human melting hardware is as classic as you can get, and it's a great weapon to whip out when surrounded by loads of foot soldiers. It does have limited ammo though, and it's very easy to burn through your reserves when you're in the middle of a firefight and not paying attention to anything but the carnage. But apart from that minor low point, I reckon this gun is hot stuff. Thanks to its infinite ammo and the fact that it's the first weapon you own in the game, Crypto's Zap-O-Matic will almost certainly be the gun you murder the most people with in Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. When you first get to use it, the Zap-O-Matic overheats quite regularly, but pump a few upgrade points into it and soon you'll have the perfect weapon for neutralising huddles of horrified humans. As you can see, a fully powered Zap-O-Matic will fire lightning that chains between any enemies, or innocent bystanders who might be in the wrong place at the wrong time. While the Zap-O-Matic may not be the best against armoured vehicles, it does drain shields very well, and with a bit of sustained fire, it can transform most standard vehicles into big balls of exploding wreckage. Sadly, the Gastro Gun isn't what I thought it would be, a gun that makes targets poop and vomit themselves to death, but it is still one of the most unique guns in the game. When activated, this gun actually calls in Gastro, the former janitor of Crypto's mothership, who floats around on a holopod, raining indiscriminate death on any person or object unfortunate enough to enter his eyeline. In other words, Gastro is an auto-turret with a lust for blood, but it doesn't have to be human blood. A fully upgraded Gastro can cause some mean explosions that even damage Crypto himself if he's not careful. Thankfully, you can also guide Gastro shots by aiming at an intended target, but with limited ammo that's hard to come by, this is a weapon you're going to want to save for emergencies.
Go, Gastro! Take that, you bunch of funky monkeys!
The Saucer's Death Ray is basically its default weapon, so it's unlocked from the very first moment you climb on board. When fired, Crypto can draw a red-hot line of molten death across the floor, and more importantly, his enemies, who quickly become incinerated. The best thing about the Death Ray is that it has infinite ammo, balanced out by a bit of cooldown time, and with some sustained burning, it can set fire to and even topple whole buildings. It may not be the flashiest or funniest of weapons in the game, but if you want to flatten an entire city, a fully upgraded Death Ray is probably the quickest and most efficient way to do it. When I call the ion detonator the bomb, I mean that quite literally, as this handheld hurt machine fires powerful ion bombs that can be detonated at will. As you can see, however, these aren't any old bombs, as when fired at things, the initial bomb itself pulls objects and people towards it, allowing for more destruction when you finally set it off. The resulting explosion is magnificent too. A fully upgraded ion bomb will not only vaporize any humans in its blast radius, but there's also the chance that some of the wreckage will transmogrify into ammo, feeding the gun and in turn your frenzy. Honestly, blowing stuff up with this gun feels so great, I'm actually considering changing my name to Ion Higton after this video is done. This next saucer-mounted death dealer is probably the most powerful weapon in the game, and as such, it's a real building killer. The Quantum Destructor fires a small green blast that swells up into a mesmerizing orb of destruction as soon as it hits solid matter. Despite the fact that I've probably wiped out a couple of families with this shot here, I'm sure you can agree that it's a pretty fantastic light show at this point. But then, at its climax, the orb implodes, sending out a shockwave that levels any buildings in its radius. Seriously, this weapon is so powerful it can even take down Takashima Tower in one shot. Look at all that glorious devastation. So, with power like that, why isn't this weapon higher on this list? Well, simply put, it can take ages to farm enough ammo for each shot, so the wait time between bouts of quantum destructing can be quite lengthy. Considering how cool this Burrow Beast weapon looks, you'd think it would be a bit higher on this list, but I've marked it down for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's a pain in the ass to get hold of. You first have to complete a quest line called the Cult of Arkvoodle, which includes a bunch of different side quests across Bay City, Albion and Takashima, and then once you've done those, you'll also need to have made sure you've collected 30 artifacts too. But what does it do? Well, I think it's better if I just show you. Pretty awesome, eh? With the Burrow Beast gun, you fire pheromones at humans, and then once the Burrow Beast gets a whiff, it devours them in one Tremors-like gulp. Unfortunately, the Burrow Beast is a bit unpredictable, and the ammo for the gun is super limited, so it's hardly the most accurate or efficient of weapons. But if you just want to watch a big hangry worm bully some NPCs, then this bad boy is well worth tracking down.
Oh, use me roughly.
As an offensive weapon, this next gun is a little underwhelming to say the least, but as a tool for immature comedy, it's hard to find better than the anal probe.
The male G-spot, huh? Wow, I'm a believer.
This posterior punishing pistol is another returning gun from the original game, with one minor difference. Rather than needing to be charged up between shots, it now requires ammo, which you can earn by pulling off a well-timed critical bot shot.
Knock it off! I took one.
One of my favourite little details about the anal probe is that the crosshair is in the shape of a little butt. But really, that's only the beginning of the bum fun. By aiming your weapon at a viable target, vehicles which famously don't have a-holes won't be affected by it, you'll fire off a luminous green, flaccidly floppy probe that instantly homes in on your opponent's anus.
Always up the ass.
Once it reaches the entrance, or should that be exit, the probe will burrow in deep between the target's cheeks, and there it will stay, sucking out their life force until their brain explodes out of their skull. Savage. That's not to say that everyone hates being probed, though. If some of the NPC's hilarious one-liners are anything to go by, death by poo pipe probing might not be such a bad way to go.
Hey, ooh, last name is
Yowza! Ooh, just like the Academy. I enjoy such torment.
He's good kind of ouchie.
Glorious purification. I have had worse. Ouch!
When it comes to causing mass destruction on a city-sized scale, Crypto's Meteor Strike is the only way to go when you don't have access to your saucer. The Meteor Strike gun does exactly what the name suggests, by calling in a meteor shower on an area of your choosing, delivering untold amounts of damage as it does so. Occasionally you'll need a couple of shots to topple a strong building like this police station here, and ammo is super scarce, so earning more can be a bit of a chore. But upgrade the gun to max and it'll become super powerful, and will even call in a small planetoid along with all those lovely exploding meteors. I mean, just check this out for an amazing display of devastation. Although Psychokinesis is listed as one of Crypto's abilities, this incredible mind trick is responsible for way more deaths in Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed than any weapon I've spoken about previously. PK, as it's called in the game, is just so much fun to use. Whether it be a nice easy way to clear out a huge crowd of angry enemies by throwing them towards the horizon, or by using objects or even better, human bodies to knock down other humans, it's always a giggle to see just what happens when you're in a PK tossing frenzy. Hell, I even took down an armoured mech with PK powers in a cardboard box at one point, so it's pretty darn useful if you ask me. But even when I'm not in a huge firefight, I still love using PK to troll the NPCs by seeing how far or how high I can launch them into the air. Watching them sail off into the distance and then slowly ragdoll down towards the ground is super satisfying, especially when it's punctuated by a little blip of yellow on your crosshair that tells you that somewhere out there, that poor human just wiped the F out.
Jackass!
And finally, it's my favourite weapon in all of Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. It's the ultimate troll gun that gives you a nice little surprise every time you use it, and it's probably made me laugh more than any other virtual firearm I've ever used. It is, of course, the Dislocator. Simply put, the Dislocator turns normal humans into people popcorn by firing anti-gravity discs at them and then slamming them into the floor over and over and over and over and over again. After being fully upgraded, the Dislocator will also send your unfortunate targets bouncing towards other unsuspecting NPCs, causing a fleshy fireworks display as they impact with the scenery and shower the area with beautiful purple sparks. A fully charged up Dislocator also works on vehicles too, which makes for some really wacky explosions. But honestly, there's no better feeling than bunging a couple of discs into a closed off area of Solaris where the gravity is slightly lower than Earth and watching chaos ensue. Oh, magical.
They all die the same.
And that, my awesome alien-loving pals, is that. Those were my top 15 wacky weapons from Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. But do you agree? If you've already played Reprobed or are watching this to get a bit of a nostalgia hit because you played the original version back in the day, let me know what your favourite weapon from the game was in the comments below. And if you haven't played the game before, let us know what gun you're most looking forward to sowing chaos with once you finally grab a copy for yourself. Thanks again to THQ Nordic for sponsoring this video, and of course, thanks so much to you lot for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a like and do think about subscribing to Eurogamer for almost daily videos about video games. I probably won't talk about anal probes as much in those videos as I did in this one, but I do often come pretty close. Goodbye.
This planet is now a territory of the Furon Empire, and your asses belong to me.